Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to this new show of HumanityWins.net. It's episode 280 from December the 22nd of the year 2023 to this Friday. And before we start on this show about are we bound by soul contracts question, I want to say that this is the last show of the year. I know calendars, years, some people believe in symbols. I agree. Some people say they are not bound by this calendar that most countries are, which is, the regular Arabic calendar. So whatever it means, I think it's just a good time of the year just to have these feelings of a new start, of, the holidays, Christmas and all that. I know it's a very specific religions. If you're a Muslim, you're someone that doesn't, Christmas is an insignificant date. Well, this is not an offense to you, okay? I'm just going to share my general happy holidays, happy new year feelings for whoever wants to say, and that this is the last show of December. This is the last show of the year 2023. So I should be back on January the 1st, 2024, okay? With a pre-May show, clarifying I'm not going to do it that day, of course. So this is the last show of the year. I hope you are enjoying the channel. For all new subscribers, thank you for latching on. Really, you honor me because you could be doing so much things with your time. You could be meditating. You could be enjoying yourself. You could be enjoying family and friends. And you have elected to spend some minutes here listening to a crazy guy on the internet just speaking his feelings. So I appreciate it. Really, I appreciate it. And this channel is for you. And I want to clarify, it's for me as well. It's my form of venting to the universe. For me, it's like writing a book, okay? It's just share my feelings, and I hope someone enjoys them and has a good time listening to this crazy guy. So, are we bound by soul contracts? Again, these are my feelings, my opinions. I do believe we are, okay? And soul contracts are very difficult to explain because they sound so stringent. They sound something that is probably has a bad connotation. When you do a contract, you are bound by the contract and by the, the small letters of the contract, the articles of the contract, etc., all the specifications and all that. And in the legal form, a contract is something that sometimes is a little bit scary, because you don't know if you're breaking it or not. Sometimes it gets very complicated to understand the wording of the contract, and sometimes it's subject to the wording exactly of saying, okay, maybe we were intending to say this, but we actually said something like that. And it's very common in law, that people that have experience in writing contracts, they use exactly that advantage of trying to mesh with the wording. So you're actually thinking you're signing one thing when you actually are bound by some other thing. So soul contracts, again, I don't know anything, okay, and I cannot assure you of this. And I'm going to show a very short 1-minute video of Dolores Cannon. She explains a different kind of soul contract, in my opinion. But I think it's something we do before your experience of saying, I commit myself to doing this. And it has to do with the law of karma, okay? Usually the way I see soul contracts is something you have done in the past that you want to correct, you really want to correct, you want to evolve, you have forgiven yourself, and you say, you know what, I know I shouldn't do this anymore. Let's do a contract. I'm going to show it to you in this next lifetime how I'm going to pass this test, okay? How I'm going to stay within the contract and not break it, okay? And again, I go back to on this episode on pain and worry. What is breaking? What is pain and worry breaking it? No. What is breaking it is because of the pain and worry, because of the suffering. Then you go and break your own morality. Then you go and break the law of non-interference, the law of balance, the law of free will, the law of karma. Then you have broken the contract in a way, in a bad way. Okay. There's this other concept that I truly believe is we also sometimes get confused and make mistakes when making soul contracts. And you always have the right. This is different from standard mainstream law contracts that they cannot just be broken. Now, you tear the paper and no, the contract is not broken. It doesn't work that way. That would be too easy. With soul contracts, you have that out. You have that possibility. I think it's within your rights that you say, you know what? I thought I could do it. I want to break it. Instead of actually going wrong, going bad, I'm not subjected by this contract anymore. And this is sometimes, this gets extremely complicated. And this is what Dolores Cannon is talking about. That sometimes we come back and we come back on the same family group. Okay, I've shared that reincarnation works within families. Okay, So you have heard probably these stories that, when there is a very old great grandmother or something like that, 100 years old, she had a husband, for example, and she tells the great grandchild, maybe, 10 years, 5 years old, I don't know, something like that, 15 years old, you're exactly as your great grandfather. You look exactly the same, you speak exactly the same, you do the same stuff. Because sometimes you are the great grandfather. In a way, it's very weird. You are her great grandchild, and you're also the same soul that was in a different persona, in a different experience, in a different lifetime. It was her husband. Okay. So it gets very touchy because some people say, what's going on? Are we husband and wives and children? It gets very touchy, I know, and that's why I try to avoid those subjects. Okay. But I've heard people, for example, that their husband and wife in this lifetime, and they were mother and father or something like mother and child or something in another lifetime. So 200 years ago. So yes, it gets very convoluted that way. And they put you within the same tribe, they call it, within the same family group. I want to clarify, there's the school of thought that some of us are multi-family groups. You have been in several family groups. They just cannot stick you in the same one, or for a purpose of a soul contract or for a karma test, you're put in a different family group. Again, this very deep, very complicated stuff. So bear with me, please. So you make the contract together in a way, two parties, and let's try in the next lifetime. Okay, not to make this mistake again. One example. This gets very difficult. Okay. But one example is, for example, you kill someone very close to you. Okay. So you make as souls, that's why they are soul contracts. These are not physical contracts or human contracts. As souls, you make the contracts to come back and try again, not as brothers, not as fathers, not as something like that. And don't do that ever again. Okay. To understand that is so wrong, that it's a major violation of the laws of the universe. And so you understand your lesson. Okay. Again, this doesn't resonate with me that much. Okay. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just telling you my intuition is telling me there's something missing here. Okay. Why it should be that way? Why do we have to come physically back and try it again? Maybe, again, I am open to being wrong. I'm open for it to be that way. It's just I attach to the idea that we can mature and evolve in a different way. Okay. Well, one example, remember the story like 100 episodes ago of the Pietro Manso in Italy? He was 19 years old. He was very, very dark and very low vibration, and he was vibrating in money and all the pleasures of money. So he went ahead and with a group of friends killed his parents, thinking he was going to get the inheritance. He was going to keep partying and having drugs and buying cars and stuff like that, because his parents were quite wealthy for Italian standards. I mean, they had a business, they had so probably, I don't know if he would have lasted a lifetime, and that's not the point. But he went ahead and planned this idea of killing his parents and that. So I'm talking that kind of major event, okay? So what happens is he could come back with his parents, the three souls, okay, and try it again and do a soul contract, okay? But we're gonna try it again to get along and not be like that. And maybe the test is gonna involve money. Is it starting to make sense? So the test is gonna involve money. So maybe now Pietro, in a future lifetime, he's still alive in this lifetime. So that for sure hasn't happened, that soul contract. But in a future lifetime, Pietro comes back and now is the one that has to learn that money is never above the love for a father, the love for for another soul, the respect of another soul, free will, and all that, the respect of karma. Okay, so the trauma that he created is certainly not never justified for the money, and that's the lesson he has to learn. I personally believe that's something he could go alone, but maybe, again, I'm open to this idea of soul contracts that we come back and try to, and the test is, in this case, for sure the money part will have to be involved, that Pietro matures the test, because remember, the parents are offering as beautiful souls. They are the ones that were subjected to the trauma. There is no ill fate. There's nothing. Again, the soul is all about love. Okay, all these other emotions are human emotions in this dimension, in this lower earthly dimension. So when the three souls get together, there's no hate, there's no, hey, you killed us. No, nothing like that. Pietro, you failed the big test. How about we make a contract and all of the three of us get together again because they put you in the same family group. So they reincarnate as three different souls, maybe three brothers, maybe something like that. Maybe a family and a wife, different situations. And we work out this money thing so you understand that money is such a concept of this reality that never justifies violating your own morality and doing that what you did in the past. That will be a soul contract again. So I'm going to show you on this quick Friday video, the last show of the year, 1 minute short from Dolores Cannon. She explains what I'm just explaining to you, but she explains the part of breaking the contract. So within a life, you don't know if, for example, you have been taken for the ride, and sorry about the expression, but you were part, for example, of this three-way soul contract, and you say, you know what, I don't get it, I don't want to be part of it. So I'm sorry, I'm gonna break it. And that's your right. And then there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean the test was successful. That just means the test is kind of aborted in a way. It's not gonna work. But you have that right. It's very important. And sometimes we have so many social, nothing with social, spiritual contracts and limitations from the past, and so many tests we haven't passed, that I do believe in the breaking. Okay. So I want to share one story with me. Since I appear in Wake in the Future and they allowed me to go a little bit out there, I share this idea that I believe we are reincarnated souls. I do believe we are universal souls. We go to many different places in the universe. And I said, you know what? I'm breaking all my Earth contracts. Okay, I've said it. And this is my last reincarnation on Earth. I'm going somewhere else. I'm going home. Okay, I don't feel I'm from here, if that makes sense. So what I'm trying to say is all of these contracts, whatever, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be part of it. I'm fine with it. And I'm going to leave. Okay, because I do believe I put my share in as far as Earth and this reality and that. I just really don't want to be part of it in the future anymore. So that's an example of what Dolores says. It's a different, maybe different thing. What she says, for example, when people are pushing your buttons and that, you maybe have a contract that they were going to do that. And you, going back to Monday's episode, we're going to tolerate the pain. We're going to tolerate the worry. We're going to tolerate, and you were not going to react. Because if you react and you do something bad with that pushing of buttons, for example, you kill the person, you defraud the person, you abuse the person, then you lost your part of the contract. You see, it didn't work. And the way the universe sees it, again, the law of karma, the wheel of karma, is okay, let's try it again and again and again until you get it. The part I have a little difference of opinion with Dolores Cannon, the way she sees the wheel of karma, is that I do believe there's a point that you say, I get it. I get it. I don't need to try it. I get it. Okay. And in whatever future test, you are truly gonna get it. So let's watch this 1 minute show. And 1 second, please. I'm getting a phone call. 1 second. I want to apologize for the interruption. I'm getting a lot of phone calls lately. I'm gonna shut off my phone, I guess, for the future shows. But we're back. So let's watch this 1 minute video from Dolores Cannon. It's a short from YouTube, and then I'm gonna give you my final thoughts on this Friday episode, last show of the year. Are we bound by soul contracts?
Saying enough is enough. I've had it. You go your way, I'll go mine. We tear up the contract. And then when it happens, all of a sudden they can't push the buttons anymore. It's only a game anyway. You ever notice that? People know what buttons to push to get you upset, to get you angry, to get a reaction out of you. Once you forgive them, let it go and release it, they can't push the buttons anymore. It doesn't bother you anymore. Then it's no fun, and they stop. But then you release out of it, and you go on to your next lesson, which may or may not be better, but at least it's a different lesson. And then you get to where you realize when you are creating karma, and you know how to stop it before it goes any further.
Okay, before I go into what Dolores said, very interesting stuff and how it fits on this soul contract thing, I want to clarify, I want to read what I found here in the screen. Very interesting stuff, these 7 points. I feel it's a little bit all over the place, and I'm going to explain. So soul contracts are pre-birth agreements. Yes, they're in a spiritual plane. They're not. It's before you're born. It's, I think, before you are between experiences, between lifetimes, that you make, okay, let's do this, let's do that, and usually involves another soul from your same family group. number one, you get a body. They will come in different colors, sizes, and abilities. This is subject for another show, but this is so deep stuff because I've shared many times this idea of the body. It's like having a car, okay? It's really, there's nothing spiritual about the body. Sorry about that. I mean, we have to take good care of it. It helps us exist in this reality. That's about it. But also very important, this idea of, some people ask me, why do people that make a lot of, people that have killed millions go to live 100 years with never suffering disease, always full of energy, and they die in their sleep at peace, apparently at peace, okay? Again, because you get a body and it's really, the only thing you can do with your body is accept it, okay? It's like we're in a line trying to come to this reality, and imagine we're a car rental agency and there are cars of all types coming along, of all qualities, of all colors, of all sizes. The point number one says, and suddenly there were souls, and suddenly a Ferrari comes, the soul in front of you, a Ferrari comes, and the soul says, hey, see you, I got a Ferrari. And they go and they rev the engine, and so they get the Ferrari body, and they get to live to 100, they take care of it, they're always fine, body-wise, okay? So that tells you it's not really that important. The only thing is, I think it's a lesson or a test, is if you get a body that is not very functional, then you try to traverse your reality the best way without complaining, always in gratitude, always saying, this is the body I got, is what I got, it is what it is, okay? Point number two is basically related to this. This body will expire, but the way you take care of it is up to you, yes. So again, but it's also related to point number one, that you're gonna get bodies in different colors, sizes, and abilities. The colors part is irrelevant, but the sizes and abilities, okay? You're gonna get a body that very little prone to disease, very, very powerful, very full of force. That's the body you got. You got one that is not like that. There's really very little you can do. It is just you try to traverse your reality with it without being upset of saying, why did I get this body? Why did I get, the smoking car that is, doesn't have any power, any engine power? Well, that's the car you got, okay? And you just have to be fine with it. Point number three, our purpose here is evolution, expansion, never-ending growth. This is beautiful stuff. Yes, that's perfect. Perfectly said. Our purpose here is evolution, expansion, never-ending growth of the soul, okay? Of the soul. Again, the body is just a tool. You will be given the best tribe to support your greatest expansion. Yes, this goes back to the family group. They call it the best tribe. You are inserted within the same family group, okay? So it's like, you don't get it. You think we only know ourselves or families from this lifetime. That's why I say, and by the way, the family group, I didn't clarify that, will include friends, okay? So someone that is your friend in this lifetime, I'm talking very good friend, will have been your father in another previous lifetime. Does it make sense? Okay. So, and that's why sometimes you have friends and suddenly there's romance and you marry a friend, a very good friend. Well, there was something there. You were connected previously. You could tell. There are people you feel immediately. You're already connected when you know them. Okay. That's a tell sign. That's a sign that, they're part of your best tribe. Okay. Point number five, you will have free will to carry out your own divine assignment. Yes, again, you have your free will, and you also have the free will to tear the contract, as Dolores was saying, and that's when I'm gonna say something about the Dolores video. That what I think she's trying to say is, if it gets to a point that really the test is not working, you have the right to say, you know what, I stop playing. The game is over for this test, and you go to another test, and then you're probably gonna have to redo that test again. I don't attach to that school of thought very much because this will be done, probably I'm saying the same thing with different words, or probably this could be done in two ways. That's why I feel so strong in my intuition that this test kind of making a game of it. If you think about it, it's like a play. Okay, let's replay it. Okay, and you didn't kill me, so you passed the test. For just an example, going back to the Pietro Masso horrible story, that they redo it in a future lifetime and they pass the test. They all love each other. The money is not a separation energy, because that's what happened in Pietro Masso's case. Money was a separation energy that took him all the way to kill his parents. That much separation, okay, for the love of money, which is a lower vibration thing. It's not universal. It's not soul intended. So the soul sees a bill and doesn't understand it's a piece of paper, okay? We humans give it power, and Pietro Masso, he gave it all the power all the way to separate to his parents and kill them, okay? So yes, could they do a play in the future and try it again? Oh, cool, Pietro Masso. That karma is on Pietro Masso. The trauma is on the parents of Pietro, okay? So the karma Will he clear it on his own by saying, okay, I get it, and I get that money should never be that, and I get, that I should never do what I've done, so I'm never gonna do it again. I think that contract is clear by that. Okay. Point number 6. Oh, this is also beautiful stuff. That's why I love this image, and I decided to include it. None of us is better or worse than the next. Of course, the law balance. We're all equally deserving, beautiful. We're all pieces of a puzzle of equal size, of equal importance. But we are a piece of the puzzle, okay? We are part of the everything. We are sons of God. Point number 7. You are an alchemist with a sacred gift of co-creation, capable of the greatest things, perfect in your imperfections. Yes, it's a little bit puzzling and cryptic, but basically goes back that all your limits are self-imposed. You are capable of so many things you don't even realize. You are part of the creation. You are part of the universe. We have all these powers. But before we get to point 7, we need to understand that these powers are not to be abused, and these powers are to be used within the reasonable use of our free will, that we don't interfere with others, that we respect the balance of others, that we respect, basically those 2 laws of saying, I'm not going to mess with anyone. I'm not going to harm anyone. I'm not going to affect anyone. I'm only going to, actually, the contrary, try to help everyone. I'm going to try to love everyone. When you get to that point that you have that maturity, then, believe me, things are going to open to you, that you are going to be capable of creating things without abusing them. Dolores Cannon, and probably do a show in the future about Atlantis. Dolores Cannon had a great video that she explains. In this case, I totally resonate with her, totally attached to her school of thought, that Atlantis was the case that we were able to go to point number 7, to discovering how we're capable of, creating things from our minds. Yes. I mean, our minds as a tool, okay, they come from the heart, okay? But the problem was that apparently after a while, the maturity was not there, the involvement was not there, and instead of respecting the laws of the universe, the Atlanteans went ahead and, started to meshing with nature and messing with among themselves until the point that it was destroyed, okay? I do believe this new era that is coming is like another Atlantis, okay? But I do believe we are now going to have the maturity to keep it going and understand it's all about love and it's not about me, it's about how I can be part of everything. So I hope you enjoyed this last show of the year, this Friday show. Have a great next week, and if everything's okay, I shall see you back in 2024, January the 1st, Monday episode, and have a great end of the year, great week, and thank you. The only thing, you honor me with your time, and really appreciate it. All new subscribers, thank you, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Thanks, have a great day. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website, www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.